So Elon Musk is now the wealthiest person in United States history with a $400 billion net worth. I want to share with you why I don't want any part of that myself and why you shouldn't either. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to another Fetta Facts. It's all facts, no opinions. And I want to share today a new fact that came up is that Elon Musk's net worth surpassed $400 billion. $400 billion. And that does make him the wealthiest person in American history. That beats John Rockefeller. That beats Andrew Carnegie. And, I wanted to go over that today because I saw an interview from Elon where he's asked about what it's like right now in his life. And if you would have asked me, 5-10 years ago in my younger years, I'm still pretty young, but in my 20s, I would have been like, man, I want to do that. I want to be the wealthiest guy in the country. That would be awesome because I'm a very competitive person. So I like being the best. If I'm doing something, I want to be the very best at it. Right. So here's why, in this interview, when I was listening to him, I was like, that sounds terrible. Right. If you look at Elon, he said after he finished the acquisition of Twitter, now we know as X, right? He's like, I went from working 80 to 90 hours a week, which is already a lot. I've done the 80, 90 hour weeks. I do them when I need to still, right? But that's a lot. 80 to 90 hours a week. He's like, after I acquired X, now I am working up to 120 hours a week, right? So he's literally waking up, going straight to work, working all day, right? Then he goes to bed and gets maybe 4 to 6 hours of sleep, wakes up and does it all over again. Right? Sleeping on the factory floors, pulling all-nighters, like this kind of stuff. And there's a part of that for me that's very admirable. I look at that and I'm like, man, I can admire the amount of push that guy has, the amount of drive that guy has. He's doing big things. Okay, you can't refute that. And he's probably happy. Like he's producing, so he's probably happy. But I would say for me, when I look at Elon, it's not the definition of wealth. Next, I don't want to interrupt you too long. I just want to give you a free offer for my book, The Blueprint to Financial Freedom. If you go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, you can get the book now. I'm going to let you get back to the video. That's not my definition of wealth. And so there's a couple of things that I want to go over with this. And the first one is that, for the average person like me, that's like, hey, I want to build financial independence. I want to make a positive impact. And I've got really big goals myself. So when I look at Elon, I'm like, I want to do that, but in my vertical, but I want to do it that way. Right. And there's an old quote, an interview done with John Rockefeller. And he talks about how, the amount of stress and time that he puts into wealth building makes it not enjoyable. Essentially, I'm kind of paraphrasing, but he basically says, the amount I sacrificed and the work it takes and the attention, the stress, it's not enjoyable. I don't really recommend it. Okay. Now, Andrew Carnegie talked about, after the age of 30, he didn't work more than 2 hours a day. Right? Now, you've got, again, the second, before Elon here, the first and second richest people in U.S. history. Number one, didn't enjoy it. Stressful, lost my health, all of this kind of stuff. I wouldn't recommend it. And then the second one, right? Super, super fun, enthusiastic guy, still a multi-billionaire. Like, it's not like we're saying, oh, he's poor, right? We're talking about 1 and 2 here. So it's like the margin's pretty slim. They're both very, very wealthy. But he's like, hey, I enjoyed my life. I worked no more than 2 hours a day after the age of 30. I focused on giving my wealth away instead of acquiring more of it. Right. And so it comes down to like money is only good for what it can be used for. It's not good for other things. So it's like having a high net worth. What does that do? What is that used for? Particularly in Elon's case, if you look at what is his net worth comprised of, Tesla stock, right? There's probably X Twitter stock in there. There's probably crypto. Those are all zeros on a balance sheet. They're not income producing. It's not like it enhances his quality of life. He has to get rid of them in order to live the life he wants. Right? And as far as I know now, he lives in a tiny house near SpaceX so he can walk to work. And he's working 120 hours a week. If you look at his relationships, he's gotten, together and split up with so many different women. He has like 12 different kids with different women, right? He's got family problems going on. It's like the guy is not my role model. I don't look at that and I'm like, that's who I emulate. That's who I want to be like. Right? So for me, like I care about my physical health. When I look at Elon, he's not really in shape. Right? I care about enjoying my life. I don't see that like outside of just the Tesla stuff and outside of just the SpaceX and outside of just what he's doing there with his companies. Right? I care about my relationship with my wife and my family. That's something that's important. So if I'm doing something that breaks that up and I keep failing over and over and over, something's got to be like, okay, I actually need to focus on this too. Okay, so the Fetta fact I want to give you today is this Elon stat, but I want to share with you like what would be done differently if it were me and what you should be thinking about too. Hey, what's up? Jerry here. I just wanted to give you another reminder. Grab my book, Blueprint to Financial Freedom. It's going to be one of the best books you have ever read on finance. I can promise you that. You're going to love it. It's also a free offer. So if you go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, you can get that now. Because loading up on speculative investments that can push your net worth super high, and just as quickly, he could lose all of it. Like his stock prices could crash, right? Because, it's volatile. So he could be instantly going down again. And it's like, this short-lived thing. And to be fair, he's not someone that touts it. Like he's even said, like none of that stuff's actually real. It's just numbers on paper, right? But I want you to think about what would you rather have? A higher net worth and you can't really use it. It doesn't really enhance your life. It's just kind of, a badge. Like I have this net worth number, or assets that pay you every month, assets that pay you every quarter, assets that pay you every year that enhance your quality of life. I lean to the second one. I'm really not interested in, I have these stocks that I can't use, right? It's like, cool, I have a house I can't live in, I have a car I can't drive, but one day I might be able to get into that thing and hit the gas pedal when it has one, right? Like I'm not interested in that even a little bit. I think that's foolish. Now, if you're already wealthy and you're like, okay, like let's see what happens and it's more of a speculative game for you, absolutely get into that stuff. Private equity, venture capital, angel investing, all of that. But that's not for the everyday person to do. And I'm not saying that as like you're not qualified, you should. I'm saying that's not the thing that's going to help you. Having your net worth increase is not going to help your life whatsoever. Okay? Getting more of your time back will. Right? Having more income so that your quality of life goes up will. And I would focus on those things. Generosity, that will help you. Now, one thing I can say for Elon is he's a generous guy, right? I like that he's generous with what he has. I've seen, stories and reports of him, donating money, giving money, supporting, different causes. And I think that that's awesome. I think that that's one of the things that like Carnegie talks about, you're morally obligated to do once you're wealthy. Your wealth is not yours. You're a steward, and that's to better the world around you. Okay. So to wrap this up, if you're in a position right now where you're like, I want to build wealth, I would not be using that as the example. I would not. If I was going to use someone as an example in modern times of like wealthy, I would probably pick Jeff Bezos, right? He's completely detached himself from Amazon. I think he's now coming in a little bit here and there to work on AI, but he's removed himself from the business. He's enjoying life. He's wealthy. He's in good shape. Right? I'm not saying every area of his life is the best, and I agree with all the things he's doing, but I'm saying that's a pretty well-rounded. He's doing better things with more areas rather than just one area, and that's it. Right? So focus on, again, wealth. Like if you keep that definition in mind, abundance and prosperity in all dynamics of life. All dynamics, not just business, not just money, not just net worth. That's my Fetta Fact today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Hey, this is Jerry Fetta here. I want to thank you for watching my video, watching my content. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to learn more about the Blueprint to Financial Freedom and how you can achieve passive income that exceeds your savings, your expenses, your taxes, your generosity, and build wealth like the top 1%, I want to encourage you, grab a copy of my book, The Blueprint to Financial Freedom. You can go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, or you can click the link in the description of the video here. The copy is free. You cover your shipping. We'll send the book out to you, and we'll send you an email with a bunch of great bonus material also for free. Get the book, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on my next content.